Hello, everybody. Welcome to Thursday, the 15th of July, 2021. And today we've got a very special guest that's going to be joining us. She's going to be talking about her journey, her health journey. She's had some issues that have gone on and that she's had to deal with for many, many years. And she is going to share a little bit of that with us. And then also how Cili by Design products have really helped her. So as you come on, let us know if you're watching it live, if you're watching the replay. We love to have the interaction. If you have questions as well, maybe we'll be able to get to those if I can figure out how to see them. And but maybe we'll have time for that. I'm just gonna go ahead and bring Pam on. Let's do that. Here we go. Hello, Pam. How are you?
Hello, I'm fine, thanks.
Awesome. Good to see you. Good to see you as always. Now, Pam and I actually grew up in the Chicagoland area together, and then she moved on, and as we all do with our lives, right? But she has a 24-year-old son, and she's back in she's moved around a little bit, but she's back. You're in the Chicago area. Or are you in Springfield now, Pam?
I'm in Springfield, Illinois.
Okay, great. Well, and the big thing for Pam that we're going to really get to is that her story starts out around 12 years old, I believe, where she was first diagnosed with epilepsy. Can you explain that for the viewers a little bit, Pam?
Sure, yes. Yeah, that was an interesting time for me, as we all know, as young women, 12 years old. So I was just starting out, getting close to puberty, and that was a very difficult time for me because I was starting to have these weird episodes, and they weren't really seizures. They were just funny feelings that I was having. So, excuse me. At first, they wanted me to see a psychiatrist and get some, talk about my dreams and get some counseling because they weren't sure what was going on. The doctors weren't. So then right before my 12th birthday, I had a actual fall down blankout seizure. And that's when they started doing tests. And then they realized that I was having that electrical activity in the brain. So then they said, okay, she's having seizures. That's what these other episodes were. So.
Wow.
It was difficult because, I was just starting to deal with a lot of other things too. And then I had this on top of my plate.
At that time, when you were first diagnosed with this, what did the doctors do for you? Did they put you on medications, or what was their course of action to try to help you out with that?
They put me on they started me out on 2 different medications, Dilantin and phenobarbital, excuse me. Phenobarbital is a very difficult drug because it's a barbiturate. And I remember that one very vividly because I would take it at bedtime, and I would take it, and then I felt like I'd wake up in the morning and I would feel like 10 minutes, it was 10 minutes had gone by. I never felt like I slept. I hated that. So as a young teenager, the last thing you want to feel like is that you don't sleep. So,
right. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they started.
And I never knew that.
Pardon me?
I never knew that about you at that time. You hit it very well. You seemed to manage it pretty well.
I guess I did. Yeah, I think it was all just crazy to me. I really didn't know for sure what was going on. How much do we really know about seizures? How much do we know about epilepsy? I mean, I really wasn't diagnosed right at that moment. They just said, okay, you're having seizure activity, but then it became a lifetime thing.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Now, I know there's been some other health challenges that have crept up over the years for that. I mean, this started now when you were very young, preteen. So now I'm not sure exactly how old you are. But I'll just say, we're in our 50s, approaching 60, something like that. And so over those course of those years, what other sorts of health challenges have you faced?
I have faced having to take a lot of medication. Remember to take a lot of medication. When I would go on different medications, there was the weaning on, weaning off, dealing with side effects from medications. I also, I forget exactly how old I was, but they put a vagus nerve stimulator in. It's a device to help with seizures, and that goes into the neck. It goes from the chest into the neck, attaches to the vagus nerve, which is in your neck. And I had that put in 2004. So, and that itself was a challenge to deal with.
Wow. And now you just recently, when we reconnected again through Facebook, you had recently gone through another surgery, and that was for what?
That was to remove the actual cord that this device had attached to it, because 8 years ago when they took the device out, they did not remove the cord from the vagus nerve. I'm not exactly sure why that was, but they didn't remove it, and then I had to have it taken out because it started to poke my neck, inside my neck, and it started to choke me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I just had that surgery 3 months ago to remove the cord. And when they removed the cord, when the surgeon removed the cord, my vocal cord was paralyzed again. So it had been paralyzed when they put it in years ago, and then it was paralyzed when they removed it 3 months ago. So now I just got over a procedure after that to get my voice back. And
Okay.
it's still not 100%, but it's good.
Well, we can hear you just fine. So thank you so much for putting forward the effort for this, for other people to hear, you know, what your journey has been, because we can all learn from personal journeys, and maybe somebody else that knows somebody or they themselves suffers with epilepsy or seizures of some sort can benefit from this as well. So we really appreciate you doing this. Now, you've already kind of covered a little bit about what the doctors have done for you. And I know there's been a lot of side effects as a result of all this. And at one point, you discovered CBD. Now, this is pre, you and I talking, and pre Cili by Design, what we market here. But can you tell us a little bit about how you first came across CBD, and how did you learn about it and that kind of thing?
Well, what happened was I started hearing things on the radio, maybe not the radio, but TV, or just, hearsay. I would hear people talking about CBD for seizures. And that got my attention, of course. So
Yeah.
I was like, okay, what's this all about? And of course, I had to look into it as best as I could. And the only thing I could find out about it was that it was available to those who really needed it, is what it sounded like. Like children that were having the multiple seizures throughout the day, which, don't get me wrong, I mean, I did not have seizures like that. And I always thanked God that they were never that significant. But I wanted to know, like, okay, well, if they can give it to these children, I mean, why can't they give it to anybody with seizures? So then I went to Colorado for a wedding, for my son's wedding, and that was kind of challenging and nerve-wracking. And I remember my friend and I, and this was back when the dispensary was in Colorado, and that was it was legal there. It wasn't legal here in Illinois. So of course, the first thing we wanted to do was hit the dispensary. So we went to the dispensary, and we got a couple of sodas and a little cookie, and we were splitting it, and we were sitting at the Airbnb, and she was videotaping me, and I was having the best time of my life. Very relaxed. So I definitely enjoyed it and remembered it and thought, this is good stuff. And it was the THC and the CBD together, but it was very relaxing. And that's one thing that really meant a lot to me, because I have a little trouble sometimes relaxing. In fact,
I just had go ahead, Pam.
Oh, I was just saying, that's the first time I actually tried it, though, is what my point was. So.
Okay. Yeah, I just have I sent some samples basically to a new friend. Her name's Carrie, and she took it today for the very first time. She just felt like, wow, I just feel relaxed. Am I supposed to feel that way? And of course, our product doesn't have any THC in it, but we still can help people maybe with that benefit, depending on where the body's at, what they're dealing with physically with their health. It's going to respond, or each person's going to respond a little bit differently because of how this product works in that. So how long were you using CBD before we started communicating? About 3-4 months ago?
Well, what happened, that was in 2019 when I first tried it. So it was towards the end of 2019. And then in 2020 was when they were going to bring the dispensaries and make everything legal here in Illinois. So I was working, and I remember I told the girl there, I said, well, as soon as this becomes, they open these places up, I'm going. I'm there. So I just, I waited. It was about the beginning of 2020. And that's when I started going to the dispensary, or somebody like my uncle would go for me and get me a couple of things. And I started out just doing like gummies and mints. That's what I was doing through the day.
Okay. And now with that, when you were using those other CBD products, what were you noticing from that?
I would say I didn't notice anything probably right away. I started noticing little by little because I was doing a lot. I was just mince. You pop one in, you don't even realize how many you're doing, and and I just started feeling like, I hardly ever need to take a Tylenol, or I don't have a headache today, or I feel really good today. I don't know what it is, but something's making me feel positive and I can think better. That's the number one thing that's important to me, because a lot of the issues I've always had over the years is I can't remember things. I'm on all these medications and I can't think straight. I can't remember things. I'm having seizures, and seizures make you forget. So memory and thinking and being able to think clearly is really important to me. And I noticed that. And I did notice relief from some headaches and pain of things.
Okay, super. So now let's bring everybody up to speed where we reconnect on Facebook. And somehow, I don't remember how it came up, but somehow it came up that I was marketing a CBD product that we truly believe. And I mean, I believe with my heart of hearts, and this is what it looks like. It's just a bottle, it's a liquid bottle or liquid water. It's a 6-ounce bottle. It's actually 36 servings. So it's over a month's supply. And really believe that it is the very best CBD product on the market, not only because it's more than just CBD, right? It's a glycobiological blend. It's got 54 trace and macro minerals in there. It's a mitochondrial blend. We've got other herbs in there, and it's a 50-50 blend of CBD and CBG. So you and I start conversing about this, and you are open to giving it a try. So, and I know you kept a journal about all this was happening to you on a regular basis anyhow. And so you just started including this into your journal. So yes, for the listeners, I want you to understand that this has really documented Pam's journey with Cili now. And you've been on for how long? About 3 months you've been using it? Is that right? 3-4 months?
Yeah, about well, it was April. At the end of April is when I started it, about April 20, right after my surgery, I started it. Yeah, so April 23rd. Excuse me. So yeah, and I've been doing it every day since. And the spray, I love the sleep spray especially. But
Yeah, me too.
That's one thing that's really important to everybody is sleep when you're in your 50s, of course. But yeah, I've been documenting and talking about, writing about. It's easier to write right now than talk. But I've been writing every day about how I felt, and how was my sleep last night, and just gradually, if you read through it, gradually it gets better and better. And especially coming off of a surgery, a major cutthroat surgery in my neck, it was a lot of pain.
Yeah. So was it able to help you with that pain? I mean, most of the people that are regular listeners with me know that I broke my knee about 4 months ago, and I was able to manage that pain completely with the Swish. And we've got another spray here called Relief. And between these two, I never even needed one of the oxycodones that they had prescribed me. I was just able to manage the pain completely natural. Understand, this is just food. So this is a natural food supplement for your body that's going in. It's doing a lot of different things that we've talked on a lot of these different lives. But how was it for you coming off that surgery and being able to use this product? Just explain some of the results. So you've already talked about the sleep. What else did you notice?
I noticed that I felt better. I really did. Felt a lot of pain, so that was very significant. But I was going through a lot of pain. It was right after the surgery, but I noticed that I was able to think better too. Like my clarity was better. Definitely a plus when you're coming off of a surgery where you feel like they just cut my throat and I'm in pain. It's never going to end. But that wasn't the case. The Cili brought me back to my normal state. So
Awesome.
it was great. Yeah, I loved it. And then I did do the pain spray throughout the day in addition to other pain meds I had to take. But it really made a significant difference.
Cool. Yeah, and the sprays are very, very fast acting. Like the pain relief spray. I mean, within about 10 minutes, most people will notice relief. It's not necessarily going to take the pain away, but it certainly makes it a lot more manageable. I mean, for severe pain, like with my broken leg or, coming off a surgery like that. But for people with just general aches and pains, it is very, very, very powerful for sure. Yeah. So is there now, how have your seizures been since you've been on Cili? I have never asked you this question, so this is going to be coming out live for the very first time. I have no idea what the answer is going to be, but what has been your experience as far as your seizures goes with being on Cili?
Well, my seizures started to get better last year. They were just very gradual. I was still having a couple of episodes, funny feelings here and there. So I know the feeling, it's very familiar. So I know that I was still having it. But then this year it got better and better. And I mean, I'm sorry, let me say that back. About a year ago, I still was having seizures, and then I started to notice I was feeling better. And then within the last year, I have not had a seizure at all.
Okay,
And
great.
yeah, so I've been seizure free for a little over a year now, and I say that was with the CBD making the difference first, but
Exactly.
the Cili has definitely continued that and made it even better.
So again, the importance of, and this is known. I mean, this is public information. A great website is CBD. Oh boy, I just forgot the name of the website, so I'm not going to be able to. Projectcbd.org, and that's got a lot of great information on there. And one of the things that's known that CBD does help with is with seizures. So even if you're not using our product, which I truly believe is the best product, and one of the reasons is because you're getting 99% absorption with this versus 10% using gummies or some other oils out there. And also the quality of the CBD makes a big difference as well. So your seizures weren't necessarily really severe, and the CBD you were taking was helping with that. So I would just encourage people, just start with this and let's see if it helps with your seizures or any other health concerns that you have. I mean, our results are across the board of what this product does for people. And if seizures is one of those in your family's area or a friend's area, then I highly recommend having them reach out to me. My website is simply www.ciliguy.com. If it's a different rep that's maybe sharing this video with you, obviously purchase it through them. You know, we've got many reps, we've got business opportunities, and there's a lot of people making a lot of money here with Cili by Design. But the first and foremost, we want to help you feel better as well. So I encourage you to do that, to get on our product, reach out to me or the person that's sharing the video with you, and let's get you started. And even if you're a healthy person, so like when I started this 2 years ago, and I'm gonna share this real quick. When I started this 2 years ago, I felt like I was a healthy person. And it was about 6 weeks of being on the product. So 6 continuous weeks of being on the product where all of a sudden I really started noticing results that were noticeable, I should say. You know, I noticed some things in the very beginning, and then it's like, well, I don't know if this is really doing anything for me. And unfortunately, a lot of people give up in that period of time, in that first month. I'm encouraging you to be on this for 3 months so that you can be on it long enough to really give that body a chance to allow it to start healing and fixing those damaged cells from years of abuse and chronic inflammation and everything else that our product works with. So Pam, is there anything else you'd like to share with everybody before we go ahead and close it out? Is there anything else?
One of the things I wanted to say is that pardon me?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Just, yeah, is there anything else you'd like to share before we go ahead and close this out?
One of the things I want to say.
Oops, we lost your audio.
I've been to a lot of doctors in the last few months with everything that I've had to have. Am I there?
Yeah, you're kind of breaking up a little bit, but.
I'm still on there. Can you hear?
Yep.
Can you see me?
Yeah, we can see and hear you.
Oh, okay. It's getting really cloudy here. Okay. I just want to say I've been to a lot of doctors in the past few months, and they told me that whatever you're doing is great. I'm very healthy. So awesome. I think I attribute the Cili to that. Fantastic. We've had a lot of people that come back from their checkups and having blood work done, and the doctors tell them that their blood work is the best it's ever been. And I know that was my personal situation as well. Yep. Blood work, great. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Pam, for being on here and taking time out of your day and struggling. I'm sorry? No, I said I would say go straight for the Cili because it's got all that other good stuff in there too.
There you go. Exactly. All righty, Pam. Well, thank you so much. And we want to wish everybody a wonderful evening and a wonderful weekend. And we'll see you again here next Tuesday. We'll talk about something else. Everybody have a great night. Bye-bye.